Hey there, I'm Sean Kilroy and I help young people on the carnivore diet. So, today I wanted to talk about how I fix bowel issues on the carnivore diet. So, common bowel issues, typically the more tricky one to fix is diarrhea or loose stools. The easier one to fix is typically going to be constipation. So, if you have constipation, you are not eating enough fat, because you eat the fat and you absorb it. Your bile is basically how you absorb fat, and if you're not using all your bile, then you're going to have dry stools. But if you use all of your bile, you are going to have a little bit fat left over that will be in your stool to make it soft, and that's how you know you're eating enough. So you just need a lot of fat. So too much fat is going to result in diarrhea. And to fix this, it's a matter of figuring out how much fat your body can handle. So if you make the switch, your body will not be able to absorb as much fat. It might take some getting used to, and you might have trouble to absorb the fat. So you're going to have loose stools. It might suck, but you have to stick with it, because let me tell you that when I was experiencing major diarrhea, when I was experiencing major loose stools, that I had this mindset that it's not the diet, but I have to figure out how to do this so it's the correct way. Figure out how to do this the correct way so my body is able to adapt what's missing, right? So what I will say is, if you're not eating too much fat, it could be something called bile malabsorption. Now, malabsorption, from what I have learned, is when your bile is not reabsorbed, because you use your bile and you reabsorb it in the intestine, and you reuse it, because bile is an expensive resource, so your body reuses it. Malabsorption is when certain enzymes in your body are not going off to reabsorb, and you just poop out like crazy. And typically a sign of this is you have fat in your liquid fat in your stool, or if you have to go to the bathroom like right after you eat. So that could be it. And I think a good fix to this is to make sure you have all of your nutrition. So in order to fix this, let's say you're just eating ground beef and you're having this issue. Okay, maybe, so it's not grass-fed, maybe there's not enough nutrients. So maybe you want to try adding just more nutrients. Okay, let's add some eggs, some pasture-raised eggs. See how that works. Okay, let's add some liver. Something nutritionally dense, so you make sure you're getting your nutrition. And if that still happens, then it could be another cause, but usually it will go away if you are getting all your nutrients, so your body is able to send out that signal, okay, reabsorb, so it doesn't turn into that. If it is and it continues to do that, you could be drinking too much water. So if you want better digestion, don't drink 2 hours before and after eating. At least 30 minutes, minimum 30 minutes, or drink very little amounts, like little sips of water while you're eating, because your pH has to be low enough, and if you're got a watery stomach, you're raising the pH, so your digestion will not be as smooth. And if you drink too much, it could turn to diarrhea, because tons of fat sitting in your body with water can, make it come out as diarrhea. So be careful with your water if you are having that issue. Another reason for diarrhea could be sweeteners, seasonings, just anything, coffee, right? Just anything that's not, part of the diet or should be in the diet. If you're adding those little things, they can make a difference. They can result in, non-normal stools. So if you are making enough bile, then it's malabsorption. You're making too much, your body cannot absorb. That is a recap of what malabsorption is. The solution is to try to add more nutrition in different forms, such as like liver. Just make sure it's higher quality meat. To do that, constipation, you eat more fat. If it's water, time your water 2 hours, 30 minutes before and after. Try those two. Eat enough fat to have soft stools. So that's how I fixed, because I had an issue. I'm not exactly sure what, but I was having an issue right after I'd have to use the bathroom. And after adding steaks instead of just ground beef, I was able to not have to go right after. So it could have been a nutritional thing, or just, what I'm eating. And for that reason, it has helped to, reduce that almost completely. So you want to experiment with different types of meat. That is really what I'm trying to say, that if you are having these issues, experiment with different meats, eggs, liver, different skeletal meats. If you're just having ground beef because of budget, try to see if you can add little amounts of different things, such as like liver, eggs, because it can make a difference if you're struggling with that sort of issue. The last thing for diarrhea is you might not be producing enough bile. And if that's the issue, I think if you're eating good quality meat in a good amount, the right nutrients, that you don't need to. But last resort, I would say ox bile or another bile supplement if it's a serious issue. But besides that, I think that should cover most of your issues with constipation and diarrhea. If not, comment down below if there are any other concerns or anything that else, other experiences that have happened. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you see and you want to learn more about this diet and get help to stay on this diet consistently. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.